Hello my dear Gemini, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between February 1st and February 15, 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So I have put astrological information for the month of February in a video of its own that you can check out if you want to in my playlist Q&A. You can also find it at my webpage www.queenofcupstarot.se. So I used the Modern Spellcasters Tarot by Melanie Marquise and illustrated by Scott Murphy. And I will start shuffling your cards. So when I open the deck here, it looks very sunny. You have the sun and the sun's rays, 8 of Wands. Something wonderful have happened, or something wonderful is about to happen with the sun. It's like you see everything clear now. The rain is gone, so that might be a song for you. And the 8 of Wands, 8 of Wands is also, it's the same thing. It's seeing the truth. It might also be people telling the truth, truth being revealed, or people opening their heart. It might also be falling in love. The sun is the highest card for love in the whole major arcana. It's when two whole people are joining in holy matrimony, and the 8 of Wands is kind of the forgiveness card, specifically if it comes together with 6 of Cups or Knight of Cups. But it's talking about making room for, it's like crystallizing understanding out of misunderstandings. Okay, so it seems very promising for you, Gemini. So I call the divine with love and light, and here you have the 9 of Cups as well. So 9 of Cups is the wish card. It's a card where you get wish fulfillment, or it's time for you with all this energy to really dream forward this what you want. There's a lot of YouTube videos you can check out how to meditation on creating your dream life, or a dream partner, or soul, attracting your soulmate. You can listen to them before you go to sleep and start to dream forward your new life. And if you have been wishing for something, it seems like it will come in. So I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world. And here we have a Page of Wands as well. Page of Wands is also messages, but it's also listening. This person is full of adventure, full of... the sun is also your soul. And this person is following their soul. Soul's mission. So being very brave, being very out without limits, really trying the things that you really want to do, not feeling like there's any restrictions. So it's very adventurous energy. Might be going out, meeting new people, having the time of your life, things like this. So I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Gemini viewers. So I want my dear Geminis to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So we saw with the latest card that there's some trouble in paradise. 9 of Wands, it's the person being very guarded. Okay, the 10 of Swords wants to show its face there, 4 of Swords. And here you have a Page of Cups as well. So I think it's someone that's being a little bit like easily wounded, touchy-feely. Okay, so it might be that you want to reach out to someone, but they will be maybe immature, touchy-feely. They will be scared because maybe they think that the past will repeat itself. And also 5 of Swords, they might want to take revenge on you. So they might feel like they want to win over you. Maybe they can't forgive you about something, or they remember something from the past that's hard to get by. But with all this energy that you have, you still need to go for it, I believe, because it's what your soul wants. And also it might be another person coming to you and trying to get to you and get into your life and start something new, and you might be very guarded and restricted and scared that things might repeat itself in the same old pattern. So I will just tune into you and your reading for a few seconds, Gemini. So, my dear Gemini, first part of February 2018. This is your future. This is your now, and this is the past. So, in the past we see this 10 of Wands. So, 10 of Wands is not like the 8 of Wands. 10 of Wands is more restrictions. It's a lot of things. The 8 of Wands scenario has been building up with the 9 of Wands, feeling no support, and 10 of Wands. 10 is like a firestorm. So usually when we feel the firestorm inside of us, we want to hold it back. So it's starting to look a little bit like a volcano, a person that's holding back all their instincts, everything they want to do naturally. If they were like the Fool, they would do a lot of either beautiful or reckless things, and all those wants is what your soul wants. And we can see the Chariot has driven off road there, and we have also a Raven there. Raven is a little bit scary sign, but it's just because they always come with the truth and with the change. So something here has been, it's like you wanted something, or you wanted to tell something, but you held yourself back because you were thinking about the consequences, and you were also trying to take responsibility, but by taking responsibility like this, you blinded yourself. So it's okay to hold yourself back if you think that you don't want to deal with the consequences. You have free will, so do that. But at least see it for yourself. Don't blind yourself. Even if you take a decision that I'm never going to speak to that person again, you still can see that you want to speak with them. If they were somewhat different, if they were maybe more forgiving, or if they were more open for change, or if they were open to listen to you. So you need to know what it is that you truly want. You can't blind yourself and just pretend like, no, I'm moving on, while you're not. Okay, so that was in the past. It's probably in January, might go also back to 2017. Here we have the now, and here we have the 9 of Wands. So you remember the past here. The past looks rather wonderful, but it's also, you got a lot of knowledge from that situation that made you probably a little bit guarded. We can see her by her pose. She is protecting her heart chakra. She has also built a little bit wall around herself. I used to say that this card is like drawing the line in the sand. This is how far this will go. I won't take it any further. So you don't want to let a person do the same old thing to you. So this time you are prepared. 9 of Wands. And when we are prepared, like with the 9 of Wands, we usually hurt the people around us in the same way that we once got hurt. Here we have the 6 of Swords. So 6 of Swords is a much lighter energy. It's showing that you have found this truth within yourself. So you know now, logically you know maybe that this situation is not for you. You don't want to repeat it. It was hell. With your heart, you know, you still long for them. So that is kind of self-realization. You know that you don't want the situation, but you also acknowledge that you still have feelings. You still have like hope for miraculous events. So that is when you find your inner treasure. You find yourself. You know who you are. You know what you are longing for. You know what your biggest wish fulfillment would be. So without that, you can't really have a wish fulfillment, because you don't have a clue. You are kind of blindfolding yourself. And here you have the Hermit in the boat as well. He's steering the boat. He has the sun symbol above his head, so he's enlightened. And we can see on her face expression that she's like almost in ecstasy. She has found out something to be true, and it's such a relief to know this, to just surrender to the truth. You don't have to act accordingly with the truth. You just need to surrender to it, so you know. that you know, I love this person to bits and pieces, but I never want to be with them again. So it might be this, or you might want to be with them again if they finally were able to not hurt you, if you could find a way where they didn't hurt you and you didn't hurt them. So this is a very good card. It's also a boat going over water. It's not a ship, it's a boat, but still boats are talking about relationships, how you're traveling with your fellow comrades over water. Six of Swords is also a very good way if you want to heal yourself from a situation. If you accept it, it will kind of start to dissolve or start to heal. As long as you have resistance, it will still be there. So when you start to acknowledge that, okay, this is how it is, it starts to resolve. It's like this when the sun shines in on a misty morning and the fog is rising and then it's gone. So it's this song again, but it's not the fog, it's more the rain. And it's another song also, it's two songs, it's the EURYTHMICS also, Here Comes the Rain Again. So it's like you're very in between those two. One is I've seen something since the rain is gone. Yes, the rain is gone. Okay, we'll try to remember to put both those songs in the description box for you. So here in the past we have the moon. So the moon is when you howl against the moon. You have this feeling inside of you, but you don't really know what it is because you have not allowed yourself to feel what it is that feels inside of there, because you don't want it to be true. You want to be this hero, like we saw with all the wands. You want to be the hero that just are so darn strong and able to just move on from a difficult situation and say to your little heart, this is not good for you, so now we move on. But here is the wolf howling towards the moon, and we have this little box here that we also could see in the Six of Swords card. So this is where you find it when you go down here to the dark night of your soul, finding out what you really feel without all the tough talk. And we see a little bit, you see a little crab there. They have the Ankh cross. The Ankh cross for me is like the uterus, the stargate from which we are all born. And this is the deep ocean that we can see here. And it's like an adventure, but it's an adventure with a dark twist. It's like an adventure where you feel depressed and you need to go into the dark forest and find out why. Or dive deep into the ocean. It depends where you have left your lost soul parts or the shadowy parts. Shadows is parts of you that you rather will forget. Maybe you were not allowed to be outspoken when you were a little girl or a boy, or maybe you were not allowed to be really yourself. So those parts that were yourself were cast into a shadow, like a place inside of you, like a barn or a basement or an attic, or maybe the bottom of a well. It depends how traumatic your separation from this part was, and it's left there. And if you leave it for the whole lifetime, it will be a lost soul part. So you will have to go back into a past life. Moon is also past life. Remember memories of past life through water. So tears, for example, or feelings, emotion, vibrations. It's memories of past life where you might have lost one soul part or two. So this is when you start to recollect all those soul parts. And with the sun, it's like you're putting a lot of attention to it, and you start to see it, you start to heal it. So when you start to see the parts of you which you have denied from yourself, like with the Ten of Wands here, no, I'm not going to tell people how I really feel, or I'm going to do this even though I feel like I'm going to get a headache out of it, and I'm going to have to stay in the bed the rest of the day. So it's like very restrained. This person is tight neck and tight shoulders, carrying all the world on their shoulders. But here in the moon, they put down this and try to find out, okay, why am I carrying this burden? Why am I trying to be this person that I'm not, and it's costing me so dearly. So and you will find out, okay, I'm doing this because I want to be loved, and also I don't want to get hurt as I was before. So it's a lot of memory stored here, and it seems like you have went down there. Yes, I felt this when I saw the rays. I wanted to say this about the sun, that full moon is when the sun is shining very strongly on your what you have stored in the shadow. The moon being kind of, the moon is cooperating with the oceans, and the pull between there, it's like storing memories. Both the oceans and the moon is storing your memories. And when the sun shines this clearly up on the moon, when it's full moon, you will feel all those things. So sometimes we say we howl against the moon, or people go crazy on the moon when there's full moon, but it's because all those emotions, you're starting to tap into them. So here in the past January, we had 2 full moons, one in the beginning of January and one in the later part of January. You can check out my Q&A and astrological information to January, so you can see what was going on here, because the last full moon was also with the lunar eclipse. So that's kind of a doorway into your really shadowy part. And when I'm doing this, it's the 18th, so we had the new moon in Sweden just today, and on the 31st we will have the full moon, and it will be in Leo. So it's not, it hasn't really happened yet, but it seems here that it will affect you, and it will be like a release. If you can go with it, if you can stay with the pain, if you don't run away from it, actually accept everything that you find there, even if it might take off your indestructible superior face, but it's not real, so you are better off losing it. So with the Sun card here, you will see things clearly, because you will use your soul and your attention span to stay with those things that you remember in the moon. And it's just frequencies, it's just vibration. It's not going to kill you. It's going to feel like it wants to kill you. Might like, it depends where your pain is. Some might feel like pressure on your throat, or you will feel like sadness in your heart, or anxiety in your solar plexus. It can be different things. It can also be physical pains that's coming. Just stay with them too. Don't take that pill to take away the pain. Try to stay with it as long as you can, at least. Not driving yourself totally crazy maybe, but so here, what's being born here is a little Page of Pentacles. So that's the true you, the natural you, the one that is the real Gemini, not the fake one that's trying to be cool and act like they don't care, because you do care. And this you were planted here exactly as you were supposed to be. You were not, it's like this fairy tale with the king's garden. The king planted a lot of different species in his beautiful garden, but when he came later on to it, everyone was sulking and withering away, because everyone wanted to be like someone else. The rose wanted to be beautiful and big and like the oak tree, and the oak tree wanted to be tall like the cypress, and the cypress wanted to smell good like the roses, and yeah, you know the drill. So, but one little flower were blooming. This is the little flower that were blooming there in the king's garden, and the king asked, why are you the only one blooming? And the flower said, well, if you, my king, planted me here, I guess you wanted me exactly as I am. And if you change king for god or goddess or divine, you have the answer. You were born like you were supposed to be. So stop struggling against yourself and try to be someone that you're not. It's mostly religion that has put this shackle up on us, trying to make us being ashamed for who we are. We shouldn't. We should love ourselves because we are sparks of the divine, being born in a human body. So here you just stay with the feelings, you just stay with the pain, you just meditate on it, and you can see the difference between this and here is your future a little bit now, the difference between how you deal with your heart chakra, or your heart chakra, but also your solar plexus and sacral chakra, root chakra as well. Here we can see you're protecting all these and you're using just your head. Here everything is in line, and you have another crab there. So showing that you need to take in the element of water, Cancer, having emotions as your superpower. I know you're air, but there's not coming much air here. You're dealing with other parts of yourself, unknown parts of yourself. And you just stay with everything and let everything roam around within you without being in this protection. It's like this is not only protection, it's also you are... I said it before, resisting. You're resisting something. Here you don't resist it. You just imagine that this person is like a black hole and just taking in whatever is and digesting it, taking in, digesting, taking in, digesting, making every shadow here into light. So it's like a big washing machine, this one. It's just washing the things. And it's like the earth also with the human, with the magnet field. You also as a human have this magnet field. It's called a Merkaba. So just feel your magnet field and let it process this thing. Usually our magnet field can be a little bit destructed because we have a lot of things clogging this beautiful... If you can imagine an apple, the middle section of an apple, it's a little bit clogged up. So you need to stay with it. And there's a wonderful exercise you can do also. Imagine that you have a pillar of light through your body here, and take like a whirlwind and let it go through this pillar of light like this, and cleaning everything and bring it down to the earth, this rubbish. There's also other things you can do with triangulation, taking your soul here, triangling it, taking it into the first chakra, up again 3 times at least, and then down to the next throat chakra and up to the crown again, and like this, and to this. You need to do it very slow. This can make you... at least 10 years ago it would have made you self-combust in the chair where you're sitting. But so take it a little bit easy, and don't do everything at once. Start one day with this, or 1 week with this, burning your Kundalini pillar or your soul pillar here. So being the pillar of light, do that 1 week, 10 minutes a day, and then start with the crown chakra thingy to the opening the third eye, and do that 3 times every evening for 1 week. Then you can do both the exercise, both cleaning and doing this. Eventually you can take, when you have calmed down, you can even take to the feet. Like imagine that there's a chakra underneath the feet, and do it, and even further along down to the earth, so you will really ground yourself. When you have done this, you can also later on take a big whirlwind and go through your whole aura, and all those, the crap that it will take with it will be stored down in earth. So you leave it there, and you just take a new whirlwind. You ask for, send me the divine whirlwind to clean my chakras. So it's from a book, A Rainbow Warrior. I haven't been able to find a new copy. I don't know to whom I lent my last one. I bought it in the beginning of the 90s, and it was very high divine work into that book, so I really miss it. So if you know what I'm talking about and you know where to buy a copy, let me know, because I really would like to have it back. But I remember the exercises, so and at least the prayers, I remember them in Swedish. I can maybe translate them for you. Okay, so, and here we have a new beginning. So this is you. Paid your coins, you came and you had a mission. Here's your mission. Here you're meditating on yourself, putting everything into right place, so you're becoming this rainbow warrior. And then you have the Ace of Coins. So this is all what you need to do during this full moon phases in January. So if you are watching this in January, really do the work, because here you have your mission. This is the doorway to what you're supposed to do here on earth, and it's usually like a rather like a mission that will string you to your limits. It will make you work to your limits and jump through hoops, but it will be worth it, because it's the reason to why you came. So don't complain and say, well, I would like to be happy in this lifetime, I just doesn't want all this trouble. Yeah, you came down to have all this trouble. I've said that Earth is planet for the broken hearts, and this is your work to heal this broken-hearted planet. So be in the broken heart and try to become more natural being with a broken heart. We don't want to feel pain, so we have refused it our whole life, and by that we have refused ourselves and all our memories and all what we are, because we don't want to feel uncomfortable vibrations. But those vibrations is going to evolve you. They are changing you on a DNA level. It hurts a little bit, but it's trial by fire here. So it will do you good. It will make you into a soul upon earth. So it's not a bad thing. It's healing. And here we have the Strength card. So some of you might be dealing with a Leo, but mostly I think it's the last full moon with the lunar eclipse will be in Leo. So it will be a repetition of what happened in August with the Lion's Gate 888. So a lot of eights, and it's the gate. I don't know why this rhyme is coming from. So anyway, this Lion's Gate is going to make you more brave, and it's going to make you accept your soul and your soul's mission, even if it's like, you know, Terminator hard. It's still yours. So 8, the Strength card, is you have called in your soul in your body, because you did it here. You just digested all the pain, and now you are super powerful because you know pain. It might be that some of you are dealing with fire. It doesn't have to be Leo, but it's just this with the Leo gate, it's there. But other of you can be dealing with an actual fire sign, and fire and earth is very high strung. It's very it's not that passionate. It's more like it can be a war, but the war needs to be on the surface so you can heal it and heal the humanity's broken heart, the Holy Trinity. So here you're really brave, you're the bigger person, you're very strong, you're inviting your soul. And here you're also this light from the sun, your awareness, you're keeping it, and you're moving this light inside your body, like with this exercise, but also finding like the most uncomfortable part in your body and staying with it, with your attention, with your inner light. You just stay with it, with your I in the I am. You just stay with it and watch your am with the I. Just staying, and your I is the sun, it's your soul, it's what's here, and with this you are taking it down in your body, becoming this, but also your soul is your attention, so it's a lot of light, so wherever you put it, it's attention. Attention is love, and so when you give this attention to your wounds, they will start to heal. If you give this attention to your children, they will feel loved. So when you put down your cell phone and watch them in the eye and, you know, listen to their day, things like this. So the moon, the phases to go to the moon is integrating your soul in your body. So you're now super strong and you're not scared of anything. Like a person comes and says, well, I don't love you anymore. And you will feel all the dread with it, but you will be okay because you're centered, and you will say, okay, I still love you. But I set you free if that is what you want, because you have become a bigger person. You are like the Buddha now. And with the Hermit, you're also a little bit revolutionary. You're not going to stay in your past like culture beliefs that they drilled you into domestication, and now you are going to be your soul. So you need to find new moral values and new maps and compasses that work for you in this part, Gemini. And here, really center, we have the devil. So the devil is Capricorn. We have Virgo here, Leo there, Leo again, Cancer, Pisces maybe as well, Earth. And here we have Capricorn, that's also Earth. So this is all the things with you that has been forbidden, all the things that you had to store down in the basement. So you're going down here with your light. And with this is light and this is shadow, and you're going down and you're going to investigate this. You're going to stay with this in this scary basement. You might have real freakish nightmare during this time. Don't be upset. Be cool like the Strength here, and ask the ghosts or the murderers or the aliens or whatever it is. Like, okay, what do you want? Because probably they want to dig up one of these, your lost soul parts. So it's going to be freakishly scary, because it was a reason to why you put them down here, because they made you not loved. People were angry with you for being like this, or they resented you, or they sent you to your room without dinner. So, but it's scary in a childish way, because you were a child and they were grown-ups. And also it might be like past life tormentation that you have either inflicted or being a victim of. So it's a past life, it's not here. So you can still have like, you don't need to feel so, like, what can I say? When we take things too serious, we also make them bigger than what they are. This is just things that wants to be integrated. It's not a monster trying to eat you. In a dream, it might be a monster trying to eat you. Let them eat you. It's probably your strength coming back, or lost talents of being like, you know, stand-up comedian during dinner, which your parents hated, but people in the world might love. So it's also talents and, you know, your superpowers coming up here. So you have some rescue work to do. And sometimes we can see it as, you know, our worst nightmare also in a person on the outside. So whatever they are representing, it might be things that you don't allow yourself to do. You get freakishly scared if you try to be like them. So if, for example, you have a very selfish, controlling person in your life, you don't allow yourself to ever be selfish and controlling. Try to feel that feelings, like, okay, if I would do the same thing that this person does, how would that make me feel? And you can feel like maybe you would lie on the floor in fetal position if you were like them. So, you know, that's my lost soul part. It's there. I don't allow myself doing this because maybe I have been executed because of this, because I were like this, or maybe my parents didn't approve of me, or my friends didn't approve of me. But it was long ago. You can use those superpowers when they are needed. You don't have to use them all the time and, you know, burn the world or whatever. You can use them when you need to defend someone, or protect something, or fight for a cause. You don't have to use it against your loved ones. Usually we use our shadow against our loved ones. So there, all the aggression and anger and rage and drama and self-pity and everything comes up there. So there's no wonder that our relationships have a hard time, but it's a good thing that they're coming up. But we need to be able to communicate them, like with the 8 of Wands and the Sun, what we saw, being able to say, okay, I feel this feeling right now. It wants to make me crazy. It wants to tell you that you are hurting me in this way. I know you don't, but I fear that you will hurt me in this way. So if you can just hug me and make me feel safe again, and then you have avoided a big conflict. And if the other person that you're with is aware enough, they can be a pillar in the storm and help you through this. And when they have their storm, you help them through that. When they say, I want to run away from you because I feel that I love you too much, so it's scaring me to death, because if you leave me I will die. Okay, so you say, okay, don't run away, stay with me, and I will stay with you. So this is, yes, here you have the 10 of Cups. So this is how you deal with this, like how you heal the broken heart. You talk with each other, you share how it feels, you tell what you're scared of, and you just don't judge people and, you know, throw them off your chariot. You talk with them and tell them. And if a person have got like 10,000 chances to fix this and they don't, well, they are not ready. So maybe you have to put them on the back burner so they can be ready. Maybe or maybe you can sever the ties and find someone that's ready. And here we have the Knight of Wands. So Knight of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. There's like, you have this chance here. It might be with a fire person. It might be you, because you seem to be on fire, Gemini. So here you have the Page of Wands. This is the Knight of Wands. You have a really good chance to meet someone that might be very spiritual, like ready for a spiritual challenge, or you yourself are ready for a spiritual challenge. This is the person, the rainbow warrior, that goes backpacking to the east and sit in an ashram for 10 years and come back with some wisdom. They were stupid when they left, and they're much more mature when they come back. They come back as the King of Wands. So this person can sometimes be a little bit like in and out of things, but he or she has a really good they are predestined to make big changes. They are fire, so they can change everything really rapidly, the creative forces. So they are not going to stay the same. If you the core is going to stay the same, but they are very adaptable, very good to learn new things. So if you can get this person on your side, it's like you really have someone to work together with. And it might be you also flying away on this adventure. You want to meet someone with whom you can work through your shadows with. Before you were scared, but now you are brave. So, but it might be also this, that one comes and are really brave and the other one is still scared shitless. Okay, so 9 of Wands. So they're still like guarded and protecting their ego. The ego is needed in many cases, but when you become like the bigger person like this, you are not going to care about being humiliated. If someone says, you're so ugly, you will just like, oh, okay. So if you think so, I don't take it personally. It's more saying something about you than about me. So you're cool with it. You don't have to say anything even. You just feel like, oh, this person having a bad day. So it doesn't touch you even, because you have become this strong. So this person it's still being touched by it. But sometimes we need to act like this, even if we're really like enlightened, because some people they are too stuck in their shadow, so they can't see what they are doing, and then we need to put very firm boundaries towards them and say, okay, say I am ugly 3 times and you will be out. Okay, so it's like this. You will just like brush them away and see that no, this person needs to evolve before I can even help them, because they are too far into the dark. So they need to crawl around there a little bit before they can, you know, do the work together with me. So here you have the moon, strength, and then death. Death is Scorpio. So it's transformation, going with the skite, and it's Saturn there as well. Usually it's Pluto, this card, but here we have Saturn instead, and the moon again, full moon, and something is boiling there. Either your past life is coming back to haunt you, like the ghosts in the nightmares here, or you need to be very strong and be able to, you know, you want something so dearly, and you want to work on this spiritual quest of yours. But if the people in your surrounding are not ready, you need to shop them out. You need to give them the bye-bye ticket for as long as it's needed. It's like you're sending them on a soul mission and saying, okay, so grow up and we will talk again in 20 years or so. See what's going on with you then, if you're still stuck. And here we have justice. So for some of you, it might be Libra. We have Sun, Hermit. So we have Leo, Virgo, Libra. So that's actually how they are coming. So it might be talking about some timing. We have Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, and then Scorpio. So, and then Leo again. So it's maybe something from that time, from 2017, is going to resurface. It might be someone coming back. You might have sent them on their way. They're coming back, maybe wants to, like surviving death, coming back and wants to apologize. It might be this. Maybe a Leo person wants to apologize to you, or you want to apologize to like a fiery person. Doesn't have to be a Leo. It can be Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. So justice will be served. So sometimes, as I said, we need to, it's major arcana cards, all this route here. So if a person isn't ready for you or for your teaching, you send them away, and karma will deal with them. Okay, so and you need to, even if it hurts you to the core of your brave heart here, you need to send them away as long as they don't work together with you, when they are not balanced, when they are not ready. So you can show unconditional love under a period of time, to help a person that's deeply traumatized to start to trust you and understand you. But at some point they will become spoiled, and that's when you kind of need to send them on their way, because when they are spoiled like this, they just take you and your unconditional love for granted, and they are getting comfortable, comfy, feel like they are the king of the world or the queen of the world, and you have pampered them into this big spoiled child. So first they were a traumatized child, then they become a big spoiled child, and then you might need to send them on their way until they are ready to be adult enough to do the work together with you. And we can see here also one of her hands is death, and she holds a pomegranate, the life, the new life. So death is new life. When you end something, there's definitely a cycle here. It's talking about some time that has been passing by. Something will, you know, go away and resurface, go away and resurface until you, this is a doorway. It's like the karma. It's a situation will repeat itself until you are ready to walk through the doorway, because you have learned the knowledge that you needed. So being a big enough person, those two cards often change places in the decks. So sometimes 8 is justice and 11 is strength. So they are very connected. When you are the bigger person, you also start to see things like from a divine perspective, and you just let things be as they are. You kind of just accept whatever is. And if you see that a mission is impossible, the person is not helping, you need to send them on their way and let heaven work with them instead, because you have better things to do than to exhaust yourself. Here we have a King of Wands. King of Wands is Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. And we see this person is listening to the divine, and they have some great skeletons in their wardrobe, but they seem ready enough and natural enough to be able to deal with it. So it might be you again, but you have taken in this fire energy, maybe by being with a fire person. If you're with a fire person, you will learn everything about fire, and the fire person will learn everything about air. But it might also be, you have a lot of water here and a lot of earth as well, so it can be any sign. It's just the person that's have matured. You see, they went away like the Knight of Wands, and they come back as the King of Wands. So when they have spent the time 10 years in the ashram, they might have learned a thing or two. You just give them, you know, you gave them a start. You made them maybe less traumatized by loving them. So or they made you less traumatized by loving you, and then they send you on your way, and now you have matured into the King of Wands here. Ace of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. It feels like there's a big love here that's very prominent. It's very important. It's like the battleground where you can start to do the work with the shadow that's very centered here, and start to work out the shadow together with one another, instead of being in a war and deciding that the other person is the enemy because they look so ugly. While they look ugly, it's because they hold your shadow, they hold a mirror. So you can't blame them for being like that. It's they are mirroring something. They are attracted by, they are mirroring your inside, and you are attracted by that. You want to see that. And so don't make them into an enemy. Just say, oh, this is interesting. I see it, it looks like I can't trust you. So maybe it's telling that I'm not always trustworthy. I believe I am. I think I am loyal, but I'm not. And I'm going to check deeper into that, in what cases I'm not loyal. So when you work it through, it won't be mirrored on the outside world again. So if you have problems with people cheating, try to figure out where you are cheating yourself or where you are cheating others. And when you have healed that, it won't be mirrored in the outside world anymore. You won't see it, it won't be there, and you won't be a jealous person because you have healed that part of yourself. So it's not a necessary lesson for you anymore. Next is the Lovers. So realizing that the most pain is actually on our inside makes it easier for us to be in love on the outside. And here we have the Lovers. It's number 6. This is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6, the Lovers. So it's like you're shackled up with someone that's actually a soulmate, I would believe. And they have the ability to put light in the in your shadows. So this is actually people marrying their own shadow. Oh, I love you so much. And they are deciding, I will work on this shadow for the rest of my life. So it's rather amazing, brave things that these people are doing. And we have the first card for love in the major arcana and the last card for love in the major arcana and the devil in between. 14, alchemist, is also a card for love. It's attraction. 15, it's even more attraction. It's more like shackled. You can't really forget about that person because they hold the key to your freedom. They hold the key to the other half of you. They are maybe the other half of you. And here you have the broken heart. So, and that's good. You're probably going to break each other's heart and really find the core wound, like where you got hurt the first place. And you can heal it. You can go through it. You can fix it. It's just this hope that you will have a person in your life that will actually do the work instead of just shying away. Because if they shy away, then you're stuck a little bit. You can continue working on yourself, but you can't do the work that the other person is supposed to do. You can take in all their energy, but if they never take in your energy, and you have this soul contract thingy, that's the problem, because then you're a little bit stuck. But you can do the work on yourself as far as you can, and like if the heaven is not letting you go, if you still shuckle up with this person, even if they don't want to do the work, I guess you're waiting for some divine miracle in time, because there's a lot of major arcana card here. You have all these major arcana cards and those two leaking into this section with maybe this fiery person. So if you do the work, you will help them. Even if you just do the work in yourself, if you're disconnected, you're so connected, like really tightly connected, and when you do the work on you, you will heal them in the same time. So it will make it easier for them. If you are the forebearer and they walk after you like this, they will be able to you will be able to help them and clear the way for all the debris. So it will be easier for them if they are a little bit more, like, less evolved. Or for you cross watchers, it might be Gemini that's less evolved. It seems like fire is very prominent here, but it's on both sides, so I can't really tell who's who. But anyway, it's part of you, so one part of you is less evolved. And sometimes it can be the masculine part, because let's face it, masculine has had a cakewalk during the patriarchal eon, while feminine has been very tormented and hurt. So that means a lot of pain for the feminine, and that means evolution. And the masculine might be a little bit more pampered and spoiled and think like everything is going to be served, and they haven't done the work. So suffering is what these males need to go through to open up their heart and start to do the spiritual work, to evolve. You know, trial by fire, changing your DNA. So some, not all, but some males are very much before. They are like Buddha and Jesus and all those things. And the other might be really like cavemen still. So they need like a little bit of evolution. And then they need pain. So death and Three of Swords. So even if you love a person, there's your soulmate, even if they don't do the work, you still need to throw them out in the cold. Okay, so we'll take a card for that. I'm very interested in higher power, in what's going on with that. So it's what I said. I think that you need to let it up to a higher power. You can't do everything alone. If you carry too much of the load and being too much evolved and unconditional, the other person will just be spoiled and they won't learn a thing. So, but it's also like this, what Eckhart Tolle said, that if you put a burning log in this with the side of a not burning log, the not burning log will also catch fire. So it might be just contagious to be around you. So, conscious contact with a higher power, the presence of the divine, seeing source energy in all things, committing to a partnership with spirit. This card reminds you that you are more than a person trying to get ahead and make things happen for yourself. You have an immortal soul and are gifted with a human life through which a higher power can express itself. At this time, you need to be conscious of your connection to spirit and foster it through prayer and meditation. Ask what is the highest good for all, how can I serve? Then get out of your own way and trust that there is a plan for your life more wondrous than you can ever know. You are always protected and divinely directed. In relationship, it's time to address how much effort you give to your relationship with your higher power called God, Goddess, Spirit, or Divine, or another name that is sacred and holy. Recognize that your partnership with Spirit is your #1 priority. The appearance of this card also indicates that there is a deep spiritual bond between you and another person who is essential to your growth and evolution. Tend to your spiritual connection and remain aware of your true nature. So even if they are like the devil, they are still your shadow. So you can throw them away as far as you want. They will probably like boomerang back to you at some point. The more you resist it, the longer time it will take. So, but you still need to, you know, a person that doesn't do the work, they are doomed as long as they don't do the work. So be hard on them. Her hand gentles the war, so maybe not. So you can be this bigger person, as I said, to a certain point. You need to decide for yourself when that certain point comes. When you start to see no progress and the person is going back to old bad habits, then you need to put a little, like a fire fork in there behind. So allow me to help you, for there are times when battle builds strength, but also times when it no longer serves a constructive purpose and war needs to end. For you, the battle within has served its purpose, and if it were to continue, you would be worn down needlessly. It can be easy to become so engaged in the struggle that you don't realize there is a way beyond it. I do, however, and I am moved to offer you my merciful and compassionate intervention. Whether the war is in the heart, the mind, the body, or out in the world, call for my hand, and I shall bring relief. So I think it's the part with you here being the bigger person, bringing the light into this shadowy relationship, and you have this person that's ready to do the work, and as long as they do the work, it's fine. But when they are not, you don't have to have war with them. You can just say very truthfully that you love them, but that they break your heart with not doing the work. Okay, so my dear Gemini, I hope this helped. I want you to take really good care. I'm really grateful for you watching this far, and I welcome you back to my mid-month February reading that I will be performing in the beginning of February. So take really good care, and bye-bye.